Hello, you beautiful soul. Welcome back to the Abundance Club podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. I have a episode that I'm really excited to share because I started to just tune into what wanted to come through today. And like my soul felt a little bit on fire. I was like, "Whew, okay, let's go there. Let's do this." So if you are here, welcome. I appreciate you so much. I know I say that probably every episode. Are you sick of me saying that? But honestly, from my heart, I love and appreciate you. And I've got a question for you. Like, reach out to me, or not a question, a request. Reach out to me and let me know if you have manifested something amazing, something that you wouldn't have expected, like something better than you've expected. If you've manifested something from listening to this podcast or being in this work with me, because I have had over this past week, either through my one-to-one coaching sessions or people just taking an opportunity to reach out to me and letting me know of some really beautiful manifestations, like people who have been in this world, in this community, doing the work, and that they have landed in a really easeful way, better than they had expected, better than they could have imagined. And like, this is the way it is meant to be when we are in this vibration of allowing, when we are tapped into our soul essence, when we can really get out of our own way and collaborate with rather than control this energy. And the difference is like the ego controls, our programming controls because it's a protective mechanism. It doesn't fully feel safe to trust that it's enough, that you're enough. That part of you doesn't fully believe that it can be easy. It doesn't fully know your worth because it's adapted beliefs and patterns that have arisen not from the truth of who you are, not even from your experiences, but from your conditioning, from what's been, right? And our soul, instead, our soul, rather than this control of the ego, our soul collaborates with this energy that sustains us, that moves through us when we allow it. You feel this energy, right? You feel this energy when you are tapped in, when you are present, when you are tuned into this vibration of wholeness, when you let yourself feel into your expansive nature. And, this might happen for you. This likely happens for you when you are meditating. And maybe it happens for you when you feel into this, into your essence, into your truth, into your expansive nature, when you are fully immersed in something. Maybe that is in being in nature, in lying in the sunshine and going for an ocean swim, in dancing and lovemaking, in experiencing unbounded joy. Because all of those things, all of those practices bring us back to our essence. And this is why, it's said that that joy is the energy that creates. Joy being our essential nature, but joy is the energy that creates because it's not hustle, it's not hard work. We think it's hard work that creates, but if that was the case, the most hardworking people on the planet would be the happiest. They would be the most fulfilled, they would be the most abundant. And we know that that's not the case, right? So this is why it's often when we actually rest, like when we switch off, when we do something fun, when we take some time off, when we go on holidays, we when we do this, like things might start to flow in our business. Abundance might start to flow in. Manifestations start to occur effortlessly, right? Because we are not in the on energy. We're not in that doing energy. And often that on and that doing energy is coming from an energy of lack, of not believing that we are enough. Because if you believe that you're enough, if you believe that it was already yours, would you be hustling in that way? What would you actually be doing, right? Would you be resting? Would you be taking a break? Would you be having fun with your kids? Would you be present in, like in a puzzle? Would you be taking a bubble bath? Right? So instead of being in that on and that doing energy, when we're in this vibration of joy, or when we're on holiday, we're doing those things, we are our most receptive, right? Because maybe we're away, we've switched off, or we're in that energy of restfulness when we're in the joy. We are not in struggle. We are not in lack. We are not in need. That's when we are our most magnetic. So that was something that I just felt called to share and remind you of when we are in this co-creative process with our soul. And if you've been listening to this podcast, you know that this is at the core and the essence of what I teach is soul embodied manifestation. Soul aligned, soul led. We are creating, like it or not, like whether this triggers you or expands you, this is the truth. Science backs this. We are creating, we are manifesting all of the time. Right? And it's when people say, I'm not into manifesting, it's like, okay, that's interesting because you're actually manifesting all the time. Who else do you think is doing this? Some God sitting up in the sky going, this is happening for you. Like life is not happening to you. You are not a bystander in your life. Maybe you think you are. But all that means is, if you believe that that's true, is that you've been unconsciously creating, unconsciously manifesting. Right? So because of this, because we know and understand that we're creating all the time, we may as well really start to up level our capacity. And that's what happens when I work with women and they enter my world. It's like, okay, you're ready. You're ready to up level. So I want to talk to you about something today that will likely show up, that might seem unexpected, that might even derail you, which is why I want to put words to it, when you are on this path of soul embodiment or manifestation, that you might, something that you might not have expected, but you likely you will meet, and maybe it can throw you off path. So before I go any further, please, if you could tap or hit the follow or subscribe button if this podcast is speaking to you, and if you would like more of this content, that just gives me like a yes, please make sure that you are following along. And just quietly, because this is just exclusively for my podcasting community, I'm not sharing this elsewhere, but in the background, I have been cultivating and ready to launch my signature program, which is called Soul Embodied Manifestation, which is the exact methodology, the exact living frequency that I use, and I use with myself. I've used with myself, my clients, with tremendous success, that not only brings you into true alignment with your soul essence, it untethers you from your conditioning, which is holding you back. It brings you into this deep attunement with your guidance system, where you are amplifying that voice of your soul and with your soul purpose. And it equips you with the knowing of how to manifest anything that you want in your life from that place of not your ego, not your conditioning, but your true self, the you that you came here to be, and how you're called to lead and be of service in this lifetime. Because if you are here listening to this podcast, I can assure you, I can guarantee you, it's because there's a call for more. Your soul is waking up, leading you, going, okay, you're ready for this. There is a way that you're being called to lead and have an impact. They are the people that I'm calling into my world. So this starts in January. And the reason that I'm telling you now is because I have a crazy pre-launch price for my community, as in crazy low. For anyone, because you're part of my podcast community, if you enroll now, the price is going up each week. So if you want to get in, do it now while you can at this low rate, because it will never be this again. Details are in the show notes. So you can just click on the link in the show notes. My work is not like, this work is not surface level, right? So if you feel like you're looking for that quick fix or for a manifestation hack, like, this is not it. This is not me. There are others who might offer that, but that's not what I am here for. This is soul deep. This is the inner work. You have to be willing to do the inner work. This is the embodiment, right? So that you become the living and breathing embodiment of your true self, of your most aligned soul self, right? Where you live as your higher self. And I say all of this because you have to be prepared when you do this work. And I see this like I magnetize the most beautiful women to work with me, the most beautiful soulmate clients. And it's those who are prepared to show up for themselves. You have to be prepared to show up for yourself, to to go beyond your programming, to look within, to be brave, to do the inner work. Because I want to equip you with not a flash in the pan kind of outcome or quick fix, but with lasting transformation that transcends the ego needs and it moves you into your deepest place of alignment and fulfillment and freedom because we get so hooked into thinking that our happiness lies in the things, the house, the car, the this, the that, like all of the external things. It never does. Some of the most unhappy people on the planet, disconnected, lost souls on the planet are the ones that have acquired so much wealth, so many things, so many houses, like all of that. Acquiring for doing it from that surface level, from that ego place. It is not creating the level of fulfillment and success and abundance that our soul is here to create. So I want to ask you a question. What if you really trusted? Like, what if you really trusted in this divine unfolding? Your life is a divine unfolding right now. What if you really trusted this call for more that is within you right now? You would not be listening to this episode right now if you didn't have a sense of this, because I can assure you, your soul has led you here. It's no accident. Nothing in your life is an accident right now, right? Like, let's just be really clear on that. There are no coincidences. Nothing. Nothing is by accident. Nothing is by chance. Everything is in this divine orchestration, and you are a part of that. There are so many invitations in your life and in your day for you to rise, for you to go beyond your patterning and your conditioning, and for you to evolve. Can you see that? Like, are you starting to notice that more? That it's all a perfect plan? Even the things that challenge us, particularly the things that challenge us. And I want to speak more to that now. Your soul is laying out these breadcrumbs for you and you're looking at them, right? But maybe there's a part of you that's going, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's for me. Right? Is this just coincidence? Like, I'm not sure. Can I trust it? Can I trust this feeling without having a logical plan because I've been so used to having that logical plan? And a part of you is holding onto the pool fence, right? Trying to reach for the water to dip your toe in. And there's a part of you that's screaming, let go and jump. It's okay. You can swim. It's safe. So what you're being asked right now is like, can you trust the unknown more than your past? Because our conditioning is always going to want to take us back into the past because it's what's familiar, or it's going to want to bypass what it's experiencing right now to go to a happy place, right? So this is what you meet as you are being asked to create as your soul, as your spiritual essence, right? To create as source, not as your conditioning. And I want to talk to you about something that you come up against often, if not always. This is what I see time and time again. This is what I've experienced in my own life. So I am speaking from that embodied place. When you make this choice to live as your soul, to align with your soul, to go to that next level, to call in the manifestation, when you begin on this journey of rediscovering that spiritual connection, maybe you're there, maybe you're at the earlier stages of your journey of just starting to wake up and realize that, hang on, there's more to this, there's more to this life. Or maybe you're further down the road and you're deepening that which you already have, right? You are being initiated onto a new level of ascension. We are all ascending and we are all being initiated in our own different ways according to our soul's curriculum according to where we're at in the divine unfolding. And this is one part, but one really, really important part of what I take people through in my soul embodied manifestation program, because this is often the part that that we want to avoid, that we don't like, but it's often the key piece that holds us back from living that soul aligned, from living that vision that we have, from receiving all of the desires that are placed in our heart because they're placed there for a reason, right? So what happens is we meet the part of ourselves when we go on this journey. We meet the part of ourselves that maybe we've forgotten about, that have maybe been pushed down, pushed back into the shadows. The parts of ourselves that have been unconsciously running the show through our programming. We meet the unhealed aspects of us. We meet the places that we have avoided going to, the parts of our psyche that we haven't yet fully integrated into wholeness, which might be our wounded child, our ego defenses, those protective parts, our fears of rejection, our desires for control, our need to belong, right? Like all of these parts that are lurking in the shadows that we start to meet when we say yes to our expansion. The reason I want to speak to this is I mentioned earlier that this can be the thing that stops people in their tracks, that they want to bypass, that holds their manifestations out because they're not quite willing to activate that. They're not quite willing to look at that final puzzle piece that brings everything together. So when we go on this path of returning to our truth and being led by that place, by our truth, by our soul essence, we can't not see, we're always going to be asked to witness the aspects of ourself that have been distorting or limiting us and our capacity, right? We can't not see that. Life is going to show you that. I've been coaching long enough and supported a lot of people through this process to see that, okay, here we are. We're going to meet this. Okay, we need to meet this. And this is why it is really important to work with a coach or to be in a community or a program where you are supported to see those blind spots, where you're supported to meet and transmute the shadow into the light. Because through this process, you are being transformed, you are being up leveled, and your soul asked for this, but your ego doesn't like it, right? It does not want you to go there because it's built its sense of self. I'm saying small self. It's built its identity around these structures and around these conditionings and around the masks and around the performative strategies and around the illusion. But that part of us has to die like the caterpillar. The caterpillar, like there's a part of it that dissolves. It dissolves. It has to go because it's been edging God out, the ego. It's been edging God out for too long. And so you're being led into this place of soul reclamation, soul alignment, where all of a sudden it's like, actually, I'm partnering. I'm not edging God out. I am partnering with God. And so there's a strong part of you that knows this is the part that's just whispering in the background, that's guiding you towards more, that's bringing you to this podcast, that's putting things in front of you, that's creating synchronicities for you to see, because that's the part of you that knows that it actually gets to be easier, that you don't have to carry this anymore, that who you are is enough without all of those adaptive aspects of you, those protective mechanisms. You don't need to protect yourself. You're safe. You're not going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger, right? But we're still living in that fear paradigm. And life, like it doesn't help that life and society and media is just reiterating more and more fear. It's just broadcasting more fear. So that doesn't help. But this is where we have to take our power back and build discernment. So This part of you that's bringing you here, that's guiding you, that's nudging you along. It's reminding you don't have to carry this. You're ready to receive. You deserve to receive. You deserve to have it all, and you can. The old ways and our patternings and our distortion and our woundedness are no longer going to lead. They're no longer going to lead you, and they're no longer going to create in the way that they have been, because they have been likely creating aspects of your world. Because as we know, the world, life, our external three-dimensional circumstances is a reflection of the frequency that we're tuning into. And many of us have been tuning into struggle and lack, and it's hard, and I don't deserve it, and I'm not enough. No more. No more. We are getting towards the end of 2025. This is the energy of the snake. We are shedding that skin. We are in this 9 cycle. For heaven's sake, for Goddess' sake, let's let this go. It's time, right? So if you are knowing that you want to deepen your dialogue with the divine, dance with the divine, to be a channel for your soul's wisdom, like, how does that even feel? Just like try that on for a moment. Like a channel for your soul's wisdom, to know that everything that you are being led by and moving through and sharing and offering is truth, not distortion, right? Then this is what we need to do. Like, right, if you're wanting to deepen that dialogue, if you're wanting to be a channel for your soul's wisdom and make choices and take action from that place, we've got to clear out the gunk in the pipes in order for those messages to flow through without being colored or flavored or distorted by our programming, by our inner child that hasn't been brought into light, right? By our wounding, by the illusion, which right now is, many are experiencing this. We're seeing this because we are ascending. We're in this peak time of ascension. So we have to understand discernment. We have to utilize our sovereign discernment of what is trying to pull us under, into doubt, into fear, into resistance. What's trying to pull us back into old and familiar timelines versus what is this opportunity that life is presenting sorry. I get a little bit excited and my words just can't come out quick enough. What is this opportunity that life is presenting me with that's going to advance me to the next level of my soul's evolution? You have this precious life right now in order to do that. So ask yourself, like, are you going to take this opportunity, or are you going to shrink back and stay the same and go with the familiar and the predictable? And there's no judgment either way. It's all choice and opportunity and free will. And many souls won't make that choice. For many, it will feel too much. The conditioning will be too strong, the grip of the ego too big for too long, right? And so that's okay. There's going to be an opportunity to come back into another life with the choice and the opportunity to evolve again, right? To anchor in that timeline. Is it comfortable? No, it's not comfortable, right? The butterfly coming from the caterpillar, or the caterpillar transmuting into the butterfly, like, it's not comfortable. No. But are you ready for it? Absolutely. You would not be listening to this podcast if you weren't ready for it, because I distinctively energize and call in those souls who are ready to hear this message, right? So the issue is, it's not really an issue, but it's just an awareness, is that many of us have little propensity to see our own stuff. We haven't been taught how to. Like, wouldn't it be amazing if we were taught this in schools? We've got little willingness to look at our own shadow, to be with it, to learn from the things that we've kept hidden in the dark. Because up until this point, they've been subconsciously creating our reality while we're wondering, why am I still unwell? Why have I got this illness? Why can't I shake it? Right? All these symptoms. Or why am I still struggling financially? Why can't I leave this job? Why do I keep attracting in this same relationships? Where's my soulmate? Or why is my energy feeling drained? Or why do I have these types of relationships with my family? What is your soul? Our soul is a teacher. Everyone in our life is a teacher. So, what is your soul trying to show you at the moment? It's not always pretty, but you have chosen and you have capacity to move through this. Otherwise, you would not be meeting this right now. You have the capacity to be guided into a situation, right? Which you are right now. You're being guided into a situation that will illuminate the unhealed patterns like control, people pleasing, trust, validation, unworthiness, fear of loss, like all of that is going to come up into the light when you go on this path. We are in this earth school to grow and to like ultimately transcend those patterns. And it's the only way to catalyze the next level of your embodiment, which you have chosen, right? So this is why surface level manifestations don't last. It can feel good, like it can feel good to the ego. We can feel like, yay, I've done that. I've manifested that. Yay, I got my new car. Yay, I got my parking spot. Or yay, I got like it's a little bit bigger than a parking spot. Let's be fair. When we have some of those manifestations that we've all experienced before, because our ego knows how to manifest, it can feel good for a bit, but it carries with it this what's next energy, right? I'm not enough, so I need this. Right? Often we don't even know when we're operating from the ego, often we don't even know why we want the thing that we want, right? Is it because the Joneses have it, right? Or the Bradleys want it, or my father wanted this for me, or this is what was expected, or this is just what you do, right? What do you want? What are your deep, true soul desires? Maybe that's an unconventional path. Maybe that doesn't make logical sense. Soul embodied manifestation goes to the root so that you can begin to know that everything showing up is for you because it's soul orchestrated. Even if it's through the mechanism of distortion or struggle or challenge, there is an opportunity here for you to alchemize that distortion, that struggle, that challenge, whatever you're moving through, that relationship dynamic that feels uncomfortable. There's an opportunity here for you to alchemize that into light, into higher vibration. And when you do that, what happens is you start to naturally untether from the old identity. You start to shed that old snakeskin. You shift out of your programming, and you turn the dial to infinite potential. And when you do that, you bring more light into your soul essence, into your wholeness. This is why it's called enlightenment or illumination. And life can then meet you there and reflect that wholeness. We have to create. We can only create from a place of wholeness in order for it to feel like true fulfillment, rather than creating from lack and creating from ego, which is always going to feel like, where's the next thing? This is not enough. I'm always looking outside at what I don't have. So you can't not manifest that which is for you when you come into this vibration, into this higher vibration where you are in alignment with your soul. Because you are choosing a path of your soul over the path of the ego, and life is always going to support you with that. Because you showing up and being of service and growing and evolving in the way that you are when you're on this path is bigger than you. It's bigger than you, right? I've had that many people reach out to me sharing how this podcast has changed their life, has supported them. And if I had just listened to my ego and small self and my conditioning, because It was nerve-wracking to start out. I resisted it. I was like uncomfortable. I let it be messy, but it still, if I had listened to that, then I would not have been able to be and continue to be of service to the people that I can support with this podcast. Can you see how it's that choice there to move through the discomfort was not just about me? When you say yes to being of service and leading, you're saying yes to the way that you are here to orchestrate a bigger unfolding, not just for you, but for other souls, to lead other souls. All right. So when you do this, you're supported because you arrive on a higher octave of a higher octave of embodiment, right? A higher timeline that's been waiting for you. This timeline where you're healed, right? Where you're your healthiest self, where you are your wealthiest and worthiest and most abundant self, where you are your most loving, right? Where you are in that soulmate relationship, where you are living in the place that you truly desire to be, where you have freedom and fulfillment more so than anything you've ever experienced thus far in this lifetime. So right now, can you see in your own life the way you might be being asked to refine your frequency? To learn how to discern between what is not truth, right? What is fear-based guidance? So yeah, guidance can still come in from our wounding, which is fear-based. And in the course, I really teach you how to discern between the two, how to know, right? So we have to be able to discern between that fear-based guidance and that truth-based knowing. How is life initiating you right now? Is it through pain? Is it through challenges? Is it through illness? Is it through overwhelm? Is it through burnout? Is it through relationship breakdowns? Are relationships being challenged and stripped away, depending on what your particular soul curriculum is at the moment? What a gift. Hand on your heart. What a gift. That is not here. None of that is here to derail you, my friends. It's here to divinely align you with your potential. It's bigger than this little hiccup in the road. That's here to help you transmute the challenges into your greatest evolution, your greatest success. And if you get quiet enough, can you ask this energy that is guiding you even through the discomfort, even through the breakdown, the challenge, the divorce, the separation? Like, can you ask this energy that's guiding you, what do you want me to see here? What do you want me to know right now? Or what do I need to be aware of here? And this is when we can move from a place of embodied wisdom, where you can start to walk as the woman or the man who is the living and breathing embodiment of their dream life. We can't get there by bypassing that which is uncomfortable. We can try, and we've probably tried, but it's not going to work. We can't get there by bypassing that which we really want to avoid, what our ego wants to avoid and is going to try and distract us away from. The things that we'd rather not look at because it's triggering or it's uncomfortable or it's never felt safe to look at that. We can only get there through walking through the initiation of the fire, like standing on the coals, through the darkness, through taking a leap into the unknown. But what I can tell you is that when you start to do this, you access all of the wisdom and the guidance and the orchestration from the divine, all of the support, and you move into deep attunement to and receptivity of the most abundant life that you came here to live. And you have BTW, a soul team, your angels, your guides, who are here to help you through this. So ask for their help. Details are in the show notes if you want to step into a mentoring session with me, even a one-to-one, single one-to-one. My magnetic mentoring is powerful. Or the deeper 2 month journey where I'm in your pocket. You get to like have these little WhatsApp conversations with me. Like this is full acceleration if you're ready for that. Or join a soul embodied manifestation. And that's my live 8 week signature program for the amazing pre-launch price. I'm just going to pop the link just below. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Reach out to me. Let me know how you found it and let me know, what have you manifested or what are you manifesting? I send you so much love, blessings, and gratitude as always. Go well.